Hello everyone, I'm Deb Courtney. Welcome to my channel. This is a third video in regards to the subject of suicide. This video and last video has to do with quite a few inquiries in regards to people who have seen my previous two videos in regards to this topic and was curious about my thoughts on assisted suicide. I can give you my thoughts on that, and it has only to do with my journey and my husband's suicide only. Every suicide is unique and different in their own way. I'm not saying this across the board about assisted suicide. I'm only talking about how I would have handled it as it pertained to me and my husband's case in regards to his sickness. As I have explained in the previous videos, that my husband had been diagnosed with bronchogenic carcinoma. His cancer was right in here. He was having a hard time breathing, and so he started out with, I'd say about 3 breathing treatments a day. Then that increased to 4, and then that increased to 5. And then there was other medication that his doctor sought out to put into his breathing treatments that would help him to deal with the phlegm buildup in his chest, in his lungs, and his bronchial tubes, so that he could get that out of there so that he could breathe. His doctor even prescribed a vest that you put on, just like a regular vest you put on, and it blows up kind of like an air mattress, and then it will begin to shake you and to shake the phlegm out of your right in here, out of your bronchial, out of your throat, out of your esophagus, up out of your lungs. And so Sam did that like one time. He says, "Man, I can't handle this." So that one didn't work. Well, as the days and weeks passed on and we got into October, he had, as a matter of fact, he had progressed from a walker. A wheelchair had been delivered to my house. And so when he saw that, and then of course hospice was coming in, when he heard that and saw that, he kind of knew his days were pretty much numbered, because he refused any kind of chemo or radiation treatment. And so he was left with the alternatives that he was left with, and those alternatives only worked for a certain period of time, but he progressively kept going down and down and down. So he knew the quality of his life was going down. He knew that there was no way to bring him back to the quality of life that he had once lived and had. So his thought was, the way I'm going to end this is through suicide. And so he took his shotgun and shot himself in the head. My thoughts on assisted suicide is this. In my husband's case, and his own is all I'm talking about, in my husband's case, I would have agreed to assisted suicide. Nobody knows, and unless you walk through it yourself, you have no comment to make in regards to assisted suicide. Until you have dealt with personally the trauma and the tragedy of a human being suffering, you don't know what you would do. Until you walk into a room where a person's part of their body is half blown off, you don't have a clue what you would do. Now, I am 6 years removed from my husband's suicide. It's taken me about this long really to talk with this topic at all without any kind of emotional uh, crying, weeping, showing up. This has helped me. These 3 videos have helped me to heal, and I'm thankful for that. It's my desire to help people and let them know my journey and what it looked like. Every journey is different when you deal with suicide. Everybody has to make their own decision. But there are some decisions you really couldn't make until you was put in that spot and had to look at a loved one suffering. I do believe that there is assisted suicide in hospitals and nursing homes, but a lot of people don't really know it. They may do it as a disguise of saying, you know what, we really want to keep them. We really want to keep them to where they're not in too much pain. Then, how do you know what they're giving them? Unless you explicitly ask and want evidence of their actually doing what they're saying as far as keeping the loved one without any pain going on, while the organs shut down and death comes. And that takes, I don't know, depend upon the individual, a week, 2 weeks. I dealt with it with my grandmother. It took 12 days. So I've been there also. Having to seen the trauma and dealt with the trauma and the tragedy when somebody takes a gun and shoots themselves in the head, I would take assisted suicide over that any day. So that's where I stand in regards to my case and my journey and my husband's tragic way of leaving this world. So that's what I wanted to talk about on this third and final video. I'm so glad for the opportunity to have discussed this topic. I hope it's helped people. That's my intention. And to get people to really thinking about, you just don't never know. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being a part of my journey. I'm so glad you found me, and I'm so glad I found you. By all means, leave me a comment below and let me know your thoughts, ideas, and suggestions in regards to my journey. I'm always wanting to learn from people and hearing what you have to say about it. It's a tough topic, I know. But it seems like we're dealing with it more and more each and every day. And so leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that. There's a lot of other topics coming down the road that I think you'll enjoy. And I really enjoy doing this. It's a mission kind of mine. And so thank you so much for being a part of the journey with me. Until I see you again, go out and make it a great day.